So there's a good one. Yeah. Why did the pirate spend so long reciting the alphabet? Because he spends months at sea. Arr! Same reason why a systems programmer spends so long with the alphabet. Months at sea. Let's see. All right. Guys, ready? Let's get going. Let's kick it off. We are at 111, so we are as good as we're going to get. Well, we'll get a little. We'll pick up a few more, but except that did we pick up Nia yet? Ah, there's Nia. All right, Nia, you're up. Or maybe not.
You might be muted.
Sorry. Okay. Hi, everyone. For today's meeting agenda, we'll start with some reminders. Then we will move on to stuff with small groups, status updates and grading, workshops, and at the end we'll do, and then what's going to happen next class, and then at the end we'll do attendance. Next slide.
All right, so this one's. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, that's you. Sorry.
That's okay. You're welcome to do it. So this is not so much a reminder, but I added this at the last minute, which is why everybody was confused. I just want to let you guys know that we will have a special guest speaker next Friday. Expect about 10 or 15 minutes at the start of class or at the start of this meeting. RSE is a fraternity on campus. It's the Rensselaer Society of Engineers. Most of you probably know that. They are rethinking what it means to be a fraternity in these times. And one of the things they're thinking about is whether they can bring their alumni back onto campus and offer mentoring and maybe get more engaged in a service-like manner with things like entrepreneurial and other organizations such as RCOS, such as the Makerspace, etc. There's an aeronautical main space as well. And they're kind of thinking about turning their house at least partially into a place where, while they're still hosting their fraternity members, at least partially into a space where these types of mentoring things could happen. And they're working with Clint Ballinger from the Severino Center, Jason Krusevich, etc., to kind of figure out how to make these a reality. And it would be a big benefit for us to be involved with this. It's in the right place. We work a lot with the Severino Center. ARCO's projects often win eShip prizes, just a hint. Don't be afraid to apply for those. So they're going to talk to us a little bit about what they're seeing and what they're doing right now. And part of what they're doing is they're going out and looking and talking to interested parties or parties who could contribute to what they're trying to pull together or help them figure out what it is they want to try to pull together. So after they address us, they're hoping to engage some of you, and I'm not sure whether they're doing small group discussions or one-on-one discussions, but they're going to want to offer time to meet with you guys. We'll send out some kind of a sign-up sheet or a survey form, and if you do meet with them, let me know. I'll ask you some questions, and then we'll offer a bonus session for that as well. And that's next Friday, so it's just I wanted to give you a heads up, so that as many of you as possible could be here to answer questions or ask them questions and kind of interact. Back to you, Nia.
Thank you. At this point, everyone should have joined the Discord. I think, still noticed that there were a few people who hadn't, so make sure you get that done. Frank has a slide on that up next if you need any help. You should have also gained access to the submittee. If you don't have access to that yet, message Professor Turner and he will add you. You should have joined the submittee team for your project and submitted your proposal. I think last we checked, we had a few less than 10 people who still hadn't joined a team yet. So make sure you get that done. And then you should determine a time with your project team to meet weekly. A lot of people, again, will do it right after large group meetings like these. But if that doesn't work for you, or if someone's in a different time zone, just find a time that will work for all of you. So yeah, again, if you didn't complete any of these, ask for help on the Discord or DM one of the coordinators, and we can point you in the right direction. And that's all from me.
Okay, now I'm here to yell at all of you. You know who you are. Please get in the Discord. Actually, I'm going to take away the please. Get on the Discord if you have not yet. We know who you are. You're an SQL query away. Just one query, and we have your name. We're going to email you. Please get on the Discord. The link is right there. If someone could paste that into the chat again, please get on. There's a very small number of people, but there's at least one project lead not in the Discord, and that messed some stuff up. So get in the Discord. It's our central communication platform. You're going to miss a lot of stuff. You're going to miss a lot of stuff if you're not on that server. Next slide. On a lighter note, project leads, I sent, oh, thank you for the chat. I sent a message in the Discord about if you use a external Discord or Slack or whatever group chat or anything for your team communication, please put an invite link to that in your project channels or your small group channels on the RCOS Discord server. This is so that when mentors see that your project channel is dead and looks like no one's talking, they don't get worried, but they're able to join your whatever server it might be and see that there's activity. Thank you to all the project leads who already did this. And again, this is only if you are not using your project channels on Discord. Of course, we encourage you to use those that were generated for you after a whole lot of work, but it's okay if you want to use other servers. Just make sure your mentors can access that. And so, mentors, once you have those links, please join your small group projects servers if they exist. Note that you can make folders on Discord of servers if you just drag the servers on the left on top of each other, so that might be useful. And for anyone who doesn't know, you can change notification settings on servers so you can get notified lots of different ways. So check those out. Please keep an eye on your project channels in the server, in the RCOS server, and external project channels. Next slide. And just a short note on project documentation. We briefly touched on this before. The handbook has a lot of useful info about what you should have in your repository. There are two things that are required in terms of documentation. That is an open source license, an OSI approved open source license, and a README. But you'll find in that handbook link, there's a lot more information about creating things like issue templates or contribution guidelines. That in particular is super useful and something that especially new members on projects can work on as they themselves learn how to contribute. So check those out. The more of those we see, the better. And the more of those you have, the easier it is for you and future members and new members of your team to work on your project. Next slide.
Okay, I guess this is back to me. So I just want to. Okay. I got these out of order, but that's okay. So status updates start this Friday. If you're wondering about what day today is Friday. That means they start today. They'll be due. The submittee thing should be open now. They will be due on Monday. It has to be an open format, markdown, restructured text, PDF, something that we can read and that can be displayed in submittee. We're not going to accept docx. It just ends up looking like gibberish, and then we have to download it. We have to open it with Word or another. Let's see, Word or Pages on the Mac or OpenOffice on Linux. But it's an extra step. It slows us down. The goal is to make these concise, easily readable, and easily understood. So don't give us docx. Don't give us anything that doesn't look good in a text editor or a text window. PDF is automatically displayed, so that is fine. You can use up to 2 late days on each one of these submissions. I'm going to continue down through, and then I'll come back to my next slide. We do have 10 opportunities to submit, and we drop 4. So, you can get 0, 1/2, or 1 credit on each of them. And again, the goal here is to keep you evaluating and looking at your semester at your progress throughout the entirety of the semester. We will grade it. It counts towards your grade. But the big value here is that it's reflective for you. Here's a reasonable example. Reasonable means I would have grudgingly given myself full credit on it. But take a look at it. I wouldn't mind more in this week, more in the next week. I didn't have any technical blockers, but if I did have, they should be enumerated here. And technical blockers are blockers that we can actually help you with. They're not, I had a head cold, or I couldn't go to class. They may stop you, or I had an exam. They may stop you from making progress, but they don't allow us to actually help you make progress. These are supposed to be the things that we can help you get past. And then finally, please keep track of all your lengths. This is a way to keep track of them throughout the semester. And the reason for doing that is it's going to be right around 50% of your grade, 45%, I think, by the time we do a final report. But overall, about right around 50% of the grade, check the rubric, will be just based off of these links. So you need to start figuring out which, you don't want to forget any. So make sure you keep track of them throughout the semester. And I gave you some that are less good. This is missing 2 sections. It's missing the blockers and the contributions. And this is just not worth any credit at all. So if you're going to put something like this in, just don't bother and use one of your dropped days. We do have updated documentation. You can see it here. We put as much of this stuff as possible out there. We try to be as open as possible on all of our guidelines and everything. So please see it here. You can even get to the grading rubric, right? All right. And then let's see. Is there anything else here? You do need to go to workshops. So far, there have been 2 workshops. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Hunter. I'm going to go back up to my last slide then. Grading. I made Rainbow Grades available. The only thing in Rainbow Grades right now are the 5 attendances we've had. Yes, 5 attendances we've had. One of your group has actually attended the first bonus session, right? I gave a bonus session for anybody who attended Patrick Massan's talk, who wasn't in the open source class. So one of them have already done that, and that means that all of you are now sitting at an A- or a B- probably. Don't worry about that. I think maybe I'll even pull those out because they are meaningless in this class because 50% of the grade can't be evaluated until the end of the semester. So these are not nearly as useful in the context of figuring out where you stand. What they are useful for is figuring out what you got credit for and what you didn't get credit for. So please take a look through here and find your grades and take a look, right? Take a look, come in RCOS Spring 2021, come in down here to Rainbow Grades, pull up your Rainbow Grades, right? And you can see this is your attendance. It's going to say merged attendance because it takes into account both venue and submittee. I think this is all correct. Please make sure it's all correct. I'm using some code that Professor Kuzmin wrote last semester. So I got it working. I know it's using both files, that it's accurate. I'm not so sure. I believe it is. I have every reason to believe it's accurate, but just in case, let me know if anything is missing. And if you go down, you'll see that we've had at least one person grab a bonus session. So good job, by the way. I'm really happy that one of you actually went through and attended Patrick's note. All right, Hunter, it's up to you.
Alrighty, so if you could find the workshop slide, one of those. There you go. All right, so workshops. So for everyone who's new to RCOS, workshops are one-off meetings that are held by RCOS members. Traditionally, they've always been mentors. Nowadays, we are letting other people do them as well. But basically, it's just a short talk on a technology or a language or a project or something that just interests you that you'd like to share with the RCOS community. So anyone taking RCOS for credit, you do have to go to at least one of these workshops. You pick whichever one you want. We do it the last day of the semester. There's a workshop there. You don't have to do it now, but it definitely, a lot of these are really informative, so it can help to do them as soon as you can, just so you can then use those skills in your project. As for mentors, you should hold at least one workshop, but you're welcome to do more. Next slide.
I'd also like to throw in here, Hunter, that if you do a really good job, one of the workshops that was given by one of my students one summer is now actually in the open source course. He did a really nice workshop on TensorFlow, and we subsequently modified and built on it, but it's now a module, a class in the open source software class. Go ahead.
Nice. I saw a question in the chat as well. Is there any way to attend workshops asynchronously? Yes, in the past we've put them on Venue, and I believe we're going to try to do that again. So you should be able to pull them up there and watch them after they happen as well. We do also advise and recommend everyone holding a mentor workshop to record them, so that way that functionality is available. And as for where you can see all of them, that will be the next slide. So let's continue on that, and I will show you exactly there. All right, so we will be posting a form in the Discord shortly for workshop proposals. So in this case, if you're a mentor, you must submit one. But if you are not a mentor and you want to do a proposal, you also should submit one, but you don't have to. But definitely, you are all welcome to do workshops if you want. We love to see them. And yeah, definitely just post them in the server and in that form, and you will be good to go. Next slide. All right, here's our calendar. So we have the handbook.arcos.io, and that has a whole bunch of cool stuff like our calendar, and that will show you where all of the class meetings and where all of the workshops are. In this case, it's kind of empty. We're still working on it a bit, and pretty soon also we're hoping to get some automated reminders sent out on the Discord server. So for now, definitely take a look at the calendar, but hopefully soon it'll be a little bit more integrated into the Discord as well. All right, I believe that's all I have in mind for workshops. So next slide, or that slide, I guess. All right, so what's happening next to this? So mentors, you should definitely start thinking about those workshops that you'd like to give, workshop or workshops, whichever, and you should submit that proposal once that form is available. As for projects, just make sure that you are posting your separate servers in the RCOS server if you have one. A lot of groups that are established projects like to have their own Discord servers or other method of communication. So if you do, just make sure that's available in the RCOS server, so that way every mentor is able to find them and keep an eye on everything and help out. But yeah, other than that, just keep meeting and keep working on your projects, and you'll be good to go. Next.
All right, we're back to me again, I guess. So one thing that I want to kind of let you guys know about is that I need some way to measure attendance. First off, attendance is required here in this course because we need you guys talking to one another in order to make sure that we got, we don't do a lot of presentation of material, so we do need you guys talking amongst yourselves on your projects, and we kind of force that by having you get together twice a week in these meetings. But we also have to actually submit to the registrar's office this year for the first time ever attendance statistics. It doesn't have to be how many classes you missed or anything like that, but they do want to know. I guess they had a lot of people who stopped coming to class last semester, and that was apparently not a good thing for grades or for smooth running of the campus. So they are asking us to kind of report things. So if you aren't on a team, please get on a team. One of the things I'm going to look at is anybody who hasn't joined a project team. We've been harping on that for a while. I'm going to use different things like that. Your status updates, but remember, you don't have to do 4 status updates, right? So, please join a team. That'll at least give me 1 data point. Please submit regularly your status updates, just so I can get these attendance statistics, so that if any of you are actually having problems, we can reach out and help. We've done this. I'm not going to go through it again, but it's here for you to see. Venue or Submittee both work. And with that in mind, let's go to Venue and Submittee. Right, if we go to Venue, it is meeting 8. I will open the check-in. There should be another check-in floating someplace, but I'm not seeing it, so maybe we'll just have to leave this one. We'll make it bigger. Move it over here. And then we also have Submittee here. And for Submittee, it is not the status update. It's the attendance. And the attendance code is commit with 3 exclamation points, because it's really, really important. Okay, 3 exclamation points. Let's pop this to this side. We'll pop this to the other side. And of course, when we do that, we can't see anything. There we go. All right, so there's your 2 ways of doing now. I will upload the recording to Venue as quickly as possible and to YouTube, and you guys who are doing it asynchronously, can be fine. I'm going to hang out here till just about 6 o'clock. If there are any questions, please stop in and see me. Otherwise, go forth and commit crimes of open source competence. How's that? Open source competence. That'd be a good password. Yeah, go out, get some stuff done. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you guys on Tuesday. Stopping the recording now unless there's questions that we should answer on the record.